Hello students, this is Devangi Dalia. I hope you all are safe and sound in your homes. Today in this video I am going to cover the explanation of the poem The Road Not Taken. This poem is written by Robert Frost, who was an American poet. He was born on 26th March 1874 in San Francisco and died on 29th January 1963. Other basic description of the poet is to be found by you all, and you all have to write it down in your notebook. Moving on with the explanation part, let's first discuss the title of the poem, which is The Road Not Taken. The title itself signifies that here in this poem we are going to talk about the road. Here the word road signifies the choices in our lives. The choice that we do not take or the choice that we do not choose. Obviously, when we are given choices in front of us, we can only choose one out of it. It is not possible to choose all the options or both the options at the same time. And whatever choice we make, it shapes our future. Whatever decisions we make, we have to move forward with it, and we cannot return back to the point where we can again choose the other option that we had not taken. So after some point in our life, when we are already moving on the path of the choice that we had made, we tend to think about the other option that we had not taken. We get questions about the other option, that what if I had taken that other option or the other road? How would my life turn out to be? So same thing happens with the poet also in the poem. He also encounters a similar situation where he has to choose one option out of the two alternatives available in front of him. After he chooses one option, he gets various feelings about the other option that he had not taken. So that is what we are going to talk about in the poem, The Road Not Taken. That means the road which the poet did not took on his journey. Now moving forward with the poem, let's discuss first stanza. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Now the poet comes to such a point in his life where he was walking down through a road, and suddenly the road got diverged into two directions. Diverged means it got separated into two directions. Now being one traveler, he cannot travel on both the roads at the same time. So it is symbolizing the choices in our lives, that in our life we also encounter such a situation where we have to choose one of the two options available in front of us. But we cannot choose both the options at the same time. We have to choose one. So similarly, in front of the poet, two roads are separated into two different directions. They get diverged into two different directions in a yellow wood. Here yellow wood represents the forest with withering yellow leaves, depicting autumn season. Means the forest had turned pale due to autumn season. The leaves, which were green in color, have now turned into yellowish color. If we try to correlate this with our lives, it also signifies the old and the withered people in our life. That in your life, you are not always going to be young. After some point of time, you are going to get old too, and at that time you are going to reflect back, or you are going to think back on the choices that you made when you were young. So now these two roads are getting separated into a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. As the poet is a single traveler, he could not travel both the roads. So he is saying sorry that he cannot travel both the roads. So he had to choose one. So for choosing one particular road, he had to think first. It's just like in our life, when we get two options, we do not choose immediately. We take our time to think about both the options available to us. We try to think about its pros and cons, that means advantages and disadvantages, and try to figure out that which option is the best or more suitable for us. So same with the poet. He also stood there for a long time thinking that which road he should take. So poet is also trying to make us understand that whenever we are in such a situation that we have to make a choice, we have to think wisely, we have to think rationally before deciding one option or choosing on one option, because whatever decisions we make in our lives or whatever options we choose, it will shape our future. If we make a wrong choice, then later on in the future we will have to regret. So poet also stood there long, and he tried to look down on one road as far as he could. So he had a good look on that one particular road as far as he could. He saw that one particular road till he could look at it, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Now what happened, that one road, the first road that he was looking at, it suddenly got curved. Bent means curved, and disappeared in the undergrowth. Undergrowth here signifies the dense growth of trees and plants in the forest. Means as far as he could look, he could see the road. Later on, that road got disappeared in the dense growth of those trees and plants. Means there was so much growth of trees and plants over there that the road got disappeared into it. So he could only look at that road as far as he could see it. After that, that road got curved into the dense growth of trees and plants. Now we'll move forward to the next stanza. Now what does the poet do? Which road does he takes? Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Now after looking at that particular road and seeing that it had got disappeared in the undergrowth, he thought that the other road is also equally good as the first one. Here just as fair is a phrase meaning that the second road is equally good in comparison to the first one that he saw. And having perhaps the better claim, the poet in his mind thought that this second road is the best alternative for him, is the better alternative for him. So he choose the second road, and he decides that he will walk on the second road. And why does he decide that? That also he has given. Because it was grassy and wanted wear. Because he saw that the road was initially grassy, means grass has grown on that road. That means that the road was unused, means it was not walked over. Not many people had walked through that road. So it also tells us about the personality trait of the poet, that he was adventurous. He wanted to walk on the road where many people have not walked over. So why does he choose the second road? Because he thinks that not many people have walked through that road. It was grassy in its initial in the beginning, and wanted wear. Wanted wear means not many people had used it. So he wanted to now use it and explore it and see how the road turns out to be. Though as for that the passing there, so now he continues to walk on the second road. As he had decided that now he'll walk on the second road, he moves forwarded. Now after covering a particular distance in that road, he comes to a realization that both the roads are same only. Though the second road was initially grassy and he thought that not many people have walked through it, but as he covers certain distance, he realizes that both the roads are equally walked over and both the roads are equally used. They are both having the same characteristics. So in life also same thing happens. Let's correlate it with life. When we choose a particular option, same things happen with us. Once we choose a particular option and move forward with it, we come to know that no choice or no option is easy. Each and every alternative has its own disadvantages and advantages, and we have to work through it. Each and every option or the decision we make requires our will, our effort and hard work to continue with it. We cannot return back to the initial stage where we can choose the first or the other option again. Everybody clear? Now let's move forward to the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. So now the poet says that on that particular morning, the roads are equally lay. Equally lay means both the roads were similar. They were very much equal to each other. In leaves, no step had trodden black means on both the roads, as far as he could see, he saw that the leaves were green in color only. They had not turned black means nobody had walked through it. If anybody would have walked over it, the leaves would have turned black, but they were still green. Oh, I kept the first for another day. So he thought in his mind that today I will take a particular road and tomorrow probably I will choose the other road and explore it also. Although he knew in his mind that it is not possible, he cannot explore both the options. He has to choose one only. And once he has chosen that particular option, he has to move forward on it. Still, just to console himself, he tries to tell him that today I will choose this option, tomorrow probably I will choose the other one which I have left and I'll explore that also. But he doubted if he would ever come back. So same thing happens in our life. We also want to explore both the options, but it is not possible. Once we make an option, we have to move forward, and once we move forward on that path, again in that particular options more and more alternatives will keep on coming and we have to choose from that. So ultimately there is no turning back. We cannot go to the initial stage or the earlier time where we had that first two options from which we can choose the other one. Whichever option we have chosen, we have to move forward with it. Moving towards the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Now here, poet is trying to tell us that after so many years, ages and ages here, it is trying to represent so many years, that in the future, after so many years, he will take a deep breath. Here sigh means he will take a deep breath and he will tell the people that once upon a time he faced such a situation where he was on a road which was diverging into woods. It was diverging into two directions. He had to choose one of them. And he very confidently, very adventurously took the road which was less traveled. Means so many people have not traveled that road through. So he took the courage to walk through the road which was less traveled, which was not walked over by many people. And that is why the choice that he made, it had made all the difference in his life. Means in the future time, whatever he would be, like whatever we are today, it is all because of the past choices that we had made. Whatever choices we make in our past times, they reflect our future. Similarly, today whatever choices we will make, it will shape our future. So, making choices wisely is very important. So the whole poem is trying to teach us that in our life we'll encounter certain difficult situations in which we have to choose. And before choosing, we should think wisely, we should think rationally, and keep in mind all the advantages and disadvantages of the choices available to us, and try to figure out that which one is much more suitable for us. Because once we have made the choice, we cannot look back. We have to move forward with it. And then whatever we will do on that path, it will only make all the difference in our life, and it will shape us, our personality, our future in such a way. I hope everybody is clear with the explanation of the poem. Now, as it is a poem, I would like to discuss certain literary devices. Now, first of all, what are literary devices? Literary devices is a technique a writer uses to produce a special effect in their writing. Means as it is a poem, to give it a rhythmic effect or to give a special effect of a poem to it, the poet or the writers chooses various technique. They use various devices or certain figures of speech to make it look more impactful and to make it look more understanding. So similarly, there are various literary devices used in this poem. First, we will discuss about the rhyme scheme of all the stanzas, and I will explain you how we can understand the rhyme scheme. Now, in all the 4 stanzas, the rhyme scheme is same. And why rhyme scheme is important in the poem? To give it a rhythmic effect. Now, in the first stanza, as you can see, in the first line, the last word would. Then in the third line, the last word stood. And in the fourth line, the last word could. They all are rhyming together. Would, stood, could. And the other rhyming words are in the second and the last line, that is both and undergrowth. So the first 3 rhyming words we can represent it by letter A, and the other 2 set of rhyming words, both and undergrowth, we can represent it with letter B. So that is why the rhyming scheme of our poem is A, B, A, A, B. Clear? Same is in the second stanza, you can see. In the first line, fair is rhyming with the where and there, and then the other set of rhyming word claim is rhyming with the last line's last word same. So again here the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, A, B. That goes on for the third and fourth stanza as well. Here lay is rhyming with day and way, and then the other set of rhyming words are black and back. So again the rhyming scheme A, B, A, A, B. And in the last stanza, again the word sigh is rhyming with I and by, and the other set of rhyming words are hence and difference. So again in this stanza also the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, A, B. Now stanza wise we will see what different types of literary devices are used. Now in the first stanza, as you can see, the whole poem basically uses the literary device of symbolism, or you can say personification, in which a particular idea or a particular human effect or a living being is represented by an object, giving it a life. Like here roads are representing the choices in our lives. It also symbolizes towards the choices or the situations in a person's life where we have to make difficult decisions or choices out of the ones available to us. So the whole poem is based on symbolism. It is symbolizing, it is trying to tell us something related to our lives. Though the example taken is of the roads, but from those example taken of the roads, it is trying to tell about the important situations that once we will have to face in our lives, and how we should do that, how we should do it, and how wisely we should make our decisions, because our decisions will shape our future. Also in the first stanza, anaphora is used. Anaphora literary device is called when same word is repeated at the beginning of 2 or more lines. Now in the first stanza you can see that in the second, third and fourth line are starting with the word and. Again and again in the second, third and fourth, and word is repeated. So that device is known as anaphora. Everybody clear? Now moving to the second stanza. In the second stanza, alliteration is used. What is alliteration? Alliteration is a repetition of a consonant sound in 2 or more consecutive words. Means a particular sound is repeated. Like you can see in the third line. Last 2 words, wanted where. So here were sound is repeated. Then in the fourth line, though, as for that, the, passing there. Again here the sound is repeating prominently. Though, that, the, there. Okay, so the sound is getting repeated. So this is known as alliteration. Then in the third stanza, again alliteration is used in the third line for the words first for, in which first sound is getting repeated. And in stanza 4, the literary device used is repetition. Repetition means the repeated use of a word or a sentence to highlight on something important. Now as you can see in the first stanza, the beginning of the first stanza and the third line of the last stanza is same. two roads diverged in a wood. So why has the poet repeated this line again? Because he wants to highlight, he wants to emphasize on the fact that this whole poem is about the two roads, the two choices that we have to make in our lives, and how it is very much important to choose wisely, that which one is better for us. And once we make a choice, we have to move forward with it. There is no turning back or looking back, because today whatever choices you will make, it is going to shape your future. In the future times, your whatever you will become, it is going to reflect back to the past decisions or the past choices that you had made in your life. Also, in this stanza, the word ages and ages are repeated to emphasize on the future time, on the period of so many years, that as a young man, whatever choices you are making, after so many years when you will become old, or when you will be in your future time, you will take a deep breath and reflect back to your past, that what choices you had and what did you make out of it. And that is why you are in the situation in the future that you are at that time. Understood? So it is very important to choose wisely so that we can have a better tomorrow. That is why it is said that today if you work properly, today if you think wisely, choose wisely, do your work with great effort and will, then tomorrow you will succeed for sure. I hope everybody is clear with the explanation of the poem. If at all any doubt, you can WhatsApp me or call me. Further PDF of the word meanings I will send, which you will have to write it down in your notebook. Tomorrow probably I will send you one more video containing the discussion of the question answers for this poem, so that you can write down the answers of it on your own in your notebook. Stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to write the poet description on your own in your notebook.